Welcome to the Peach Teach English podcast. I'm your host, Frankie Mesmer, and today I want to share a personal story about a time I experienced overwhelming stress while living in Colombia. This story not only reflects the ups and downs of life, but also offers some valuable insights into stress management. As you listen, pay attention to the vocabulary I use and how I express my emotions. It was 2017 when I moved to Colombia to work as a volunteer co-teacher in public schools, helping middle and high school students learn English. I loved my time there, but as the government changed, so did my situation. The volunteer program I was a part of was cut, and suddenly my visa was about to expire. I had a plan to leave Colombia for a short vacation to Margarita Island, Venezuela, and then return with a tourist visa. It seemed like the perfect getaway, a chance to relax on the beach with my wife. I booked an all-inclusive trip through an agency and even asked if I needed any special visa for this trip. The agent assured me there was nothing to worry about, no visa required. But as I arrived at the airport, ready for this exciting adventure, everything began to unravel. Picture this. I'm standing in line, my excitement building when I finally reached the check-in counter. The flight agent looked up at me and asked, "Can you show me your visa, please?" "Visa?" I replied, my heart racing. She explained that Americans need a visa to travel to Venezuela. At that moment, panic set in. I felt this heavy weight on my chest as the reality hit me. My vacation was slipping away, and I had no backup plan to leave Colombia. In that state of urgency, I called the travel agency. The agent on the line informed me that she mistakenly thought I was French, maybe because my name is Francis. I couldn't believe it. I got 60% of my money back due to her mistake, but it wasn't enough to calm my rising stress levels in that moment. Desperate to find a solution, I declined their offer for a new package to Panama. Instead, I headed to the immigration office at the airport, hoping they could help. They suggested taking a bus to Turbo, Colombia, and then a boat to Portugal, which is right on the border with Panama. With time running out and anxiety bubbling up inside me, I took a bus back to Medellin and then traveled for about 7 hours to Turbo. We found a cheap hotel nearby, but sleep was elusive. I tossed and turned, my mind racing with worries about missing my deadline to leave Colombia without penalties. The next morning, we set off on a motorboat, crammed with people. The ocean was wild, waves crashing against us, and I remember thinking, this is it. What if we go overboard? The boat jumped and bounced, and for a moment, it felt like we were flying through the air. But finally, we reached the shores of Portugal. But the stress didn't end there. When I arrived at the embassy, I learned that the internet was down, and they couldn't process my documents. My heart raced as I began to sweat, fearing I would be stuck in this situation. But then they assured me it was their fault and stamped my passport, marking my departure from Colombia. Though I would actually leave a day late. I finally felt a slight relief wash over me, but I still had to find transportation to the Panamanian border. Fortunately, I ran into 3 colleagues from my volunteer program who are in the same predicament: a Czech woman, an Austrian woman, and a fellow American. Together, we searched for our captain. The next day, I woke up early, ready for the final leg of our journey. My wife stayed behind, and we climbed into a tiny boat with more people than expected. The Austrian girl panicked, worried about the boat tipping over. I could see the stress in her eyes, and it reminded me of how overwhelmed I'd felt just days before. When we reached the Panamanian side, it was eerily quiet, a ghost town with just a handful of inhabitants. After getting our passport stamps, We learned we had to wait 24 hours before returning to Colombia. The Austrian girl's frustration grew as she complained about having nothing to do in this desolate place. But after hours of her complaints, the official finally relented and let us return to Colombia. Despite the chaos, I managed to leave Colombia without penalties and re-enter as a tourist. Finally, stress-free. I got to enjoy the beautiful beaches of Capurganá and explore the stunning landscape on the Panamanian side of La Miel. Looking back, it was a scary and eventful experience, but it taught me valuable lessons about stress management and adaptability. Sometimes things don't go according to plan, and that's okay. And it's normal to feel stressed. What matters is how we respond to these challenges. And remember, when you're feeling stressed, take a moment to breathe, regroup, and think through your options. You might just find a new path forward. Thank you for joining me on this journey today. I hope my story resonated with you. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and leave a review. Until next time, keep practicing your English and managing your stress.